It's Monday, April 2nd, 2018, and you are watching, or perhaps listening, to Guy's Daily Drive. And greetings and salutations. Guys, Daily Drive. I don't really have a particular topic. This will be kind of a potpourri sort of show. This thing blended together. Tonight is the last game of the NCAA basketball tournament. Villanova versus Michigan. And, it's weird. I have never been a big baseball or basketball fan. It just wasn't my thing. Growing up, I always liked football. But because Tracy likes both of those things, it's on TV. And while I could certainly go watch something else on another TV or go and screw around on the computer, I'll usually spend at least a few evenings watching the various tournaments. Hell, she's even got me watching during the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, curling. And I have no idea why. Curling, I'm sure that for the people that are involved in the sport, it's fascinating and that there's all kinds of angles and strategies and everything else. But it's basically, when you come right down to it, and really, a lot of sports are like this. When you break it down to its minimum, it's someone sliding a rock across the ice, and other people are sweeping in front of it. That's curling. It's like baseball, you're throwing a hard ball at a guy who tries to hit it with a stick. Basketball, you bounce a ball and try to put it through a hoop. And again, there's all kinds of strategy involved with all of these sports, and the people that are really good at these sports have dedicated a significant part of their life to being better than other people at these sports. And, that's good. That's cool. That's what you want to do. Growing up, and for people who haven't met me, I am really tall. I'm like 6'6". That's not like freakish basketball height, but it's pretty tall. And I weigh in the neighborhood of 300 pounds, so I'm a big guy. However, when I first got to be this tall, and this is not an exaggeration, I grew almost a foot from the time I was like 12, 13 until I hit 17, a foot. My poor mother was replacing my entire wardrobe like every 6 months because I was just growing and growing and growing so fast. But along with that height did not come two very important things for most sports. Most of the sports, at least, that were available to me in South Florida. and that is weight and coordination. I was so freakishly uncoordinated. When I first got to be the height that I am now, I weighed like 165 pounds. So like 100, and I've like almost doubled my weight over the years, while remaining at 6'6". Coordination, I guess, has gotten better. But by the time I kind of grew into my size, it was far too late for me to play organized sports with any kind of skill. So I just never really paid attention to any of them except the ones that made the most noise, and growing up, that was football. Especially considering that South Florida didn't have any professional sports teams other than the Dolphins in like the 60s and 70s when I was growing up. That was it, just the Dolphins. Now there's hockey teams and professional soccer teams, football teams, European football teams, and hockey and baseball and basketball, and I mean, just all the big sports are in South Florida. But I don't live in South Florida anymore. Somebody has a bunny in a balcony that I can see. It's so weird. I actually recorded some stuff yesterday. But it honestly, and my threshold for quality is pretty low when it comes to this kind of thing. But it was like, well, here I am, I'm going to the store and I'm going to do this and blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh God. But I'll tell you what I did get. Lately, since I got the iMac, when I got the iMac, one of the things that I lost as compared to the 2010 Mac Pro that I used to have was audio inputs and outputs. Don't have them now, other than just one headphone jack. This is sort of what I was talking about the other day. So I started relying on software solutions more so than I have in a couple of years. And it's been problematic. When I'm doing live casts, and I do the Mac to the Future live cast, and eventually I would like to get to the point where at least parts of the MyMac Podcast are available on video. But because I'm relying on software to route audio, it's getting difficult. I get a lot of static. I get just all kinds of audio artifacts, for lack of a better term, and that does not make me happy. So I end up having to do some creative things, taking the audio from the source that I'm recording it to as an audio source, and trying to match that up with the video, and that's just a pain in the ass. So I don't want to do that. So what I'm looking at is, how can I get audio from the various sources on my computer to other parts of my computer in other programs? Well, the easiest way to do that, and I have the hardware for it, is to use a mixer. I have a Behringer Xenix 1204 USB mixer. That's what I have my microphone connected to. And so what I need to do is have a way for whichever VoIP service that I'm going to use whether it's, and right now the two I'm mostly using are Skype and Discord. I use Discord with the MyMac Podcast and Skype for the Mac to the Future livecast. But I need to have a way to get that audio straight into the mixer and then use the USB from the mixer to wherever it is that I need it to go. So what I have is this little box. It's a USB breakout box. It has two RCA right and left channel ins. RCA is the type of connector, and two RCA out, right and left channel. So I went to Guitar Center yesterday, and I got two cables, both the exact same type of cable. And it's RCA on one end, and 1/4 inch TRS, which is your, the 1/4 inch kind of cable that you see people plug into guitars and things like that, on the other end. So I will point Skype and Discord to the this little USB Behringer breakout box, and those will go into the mixer. So Skype and Discord will go into that box. Skype and Discord will get audio from the mixer. And it's kind of cool the way that works. For people that don't know anything about audio, there's a thing called mix minus. And it's kind of a simple concept, but because of how it works, people get confused by what it does and what it's trying to accomplish. The thing is, when you're mixing audio together from different sources, especially from a live source, and the person that's speaking to you needs to be able to hear you and needs to be able to hear whatever other audio sources that you want them to hear from your setup. But what you don't want to have happen is for their audio to feed back to them. Hence the term feedback. It can start up cascading very quickly, squealing event, which will drive that person insane in a relatively short amount of time. So what you do on this mixer is you take a output. Sometimes it's called an auxiliary output. Sometimes it's called FX or anything along those lines. And from the mixer, you can use a knob that's on each channel to say, okay, I want this channel to go to that output, this auxiliary / FX output, and I want this channel to go to that auxiliary output. But what I don't want to have is this other channel, which is the input for these VoIP services, to go to that auxiliary channel. So you are mixing together audio, but then minusing out their own input, hence mix minus. So that's what I need to do. That's what this box is going to allow me, and that's what these cables will allow me to do. It'll allow me to take the auxiliary output from the mixer, take it to the USB breakout box, and then take the output of the breakout box and put that to an input in the mixer, mix minus. And hopefully that will resolve some of the audio issues that I've been having. Now, part of the reason why you do things like this is to get the best audio that you can, but also you want to set up your tracks in whatever program it is that you're recording with this audio. You want each person or input, as many as you can, to be on their own track. And the reason why you do that is if something happens to any one of these individual inputs, it's too loud, it's too soft, it's one thing or the other. You want to be able to fix that in whatever software it is that you're using to record the audio. But you can't do that if it's all blended in together. So typically what I do when I have had the mixer set up like this before, is pan my audio all the way to the left, pan the Skype or VoIP audio all the way over to the right, and the third program that I use is a sound cart program, and I just have that go to both channels. And then in my recording software, I set up 2 tracks, each one as a mono source, so you hear whatever audio is coming in on both the right and left side of headphones or speakers or whatever it is that you're using to listen to audio. And that's basically it. If anything happens to one side of it or the other, then it's much easier to fix it if they're separate tracks. So that's what I bought yesterday. I bought those cables, and I'll probably set that up tonight and maybe do a test run. And that's about it for today for Guy's Daily Drive. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like to help me financially with this stuff, that would be a big help. You can do it. You can become a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/ it's either Guy Searle or Mac Parrot. Chances are if you look for either one of those, you'll find me. Or you can do a one-time donation at basically buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com /Mac Parrot. You can find me, of course, here on Guy's Daily Drive. You can also find me on the Twitters at Mac Parrot. You can send me an email, guy@mymac.com, or guy@mttfgo.com. We have a Skype number, 703-436-9501. You can contact me that way as well. So that's going to be it. I will see you guys next time on Guy's Daily Drive. Thanks for joining me.